If you're a business owner that feels like they're higher up on the ADHD spectrum like myself, then you're going to want to listen to this. Over the past few years, I've been studying Richard Branson because he obviously has ADHD and dyslexia, and I've been curious as to how someone with that brain type has been able to achieve so much success. And I've been able to distill it down to 4 key principles that he operates by. So let me talk you through them. Principle number 1 is his screw it, let's do it philosophy, which is essentially a workaround for his executive function challenges. Because he obviously knows that he is an interest-driven person, like anybody with this brain type. So he's given himself and his team permission to go and execute as fast as possible when that inspiration and that interest strikes. Here's the thing that most people miss to ensure that he's not being reckless, is that before they do pull the trigger, they need to just assess the downsides. For example, when he started Virgin Atlantic, he negotiated a deal where he could return his one Boeing 747 after a year if it didn't work. So is he impulsive? Yes. But is he reckless? No. Principle number 2 is that he figured out that he was shit at the boring stuff early. So the maths, the spreadsheets, the operational details. So he made it his mission, instead of forcing himself to go and learn those things and become proficient at them, was to hire and build an execution team around him so they could take that off of his plate and he could then just be sat in his zone of genius driving the vision forward. Principle number 3 is that, like many of us, he knew that his working memory was unreliable. So he externalizes his brain by carrying a notebook around with him absolutely everywhere. If he has an idea, it goes straight down onto paper before it gets lost in the abyss. And he has actually attributed the success of Virgin to this notepad that he always carries around with him. Now, like many of us, he has a need for novelty, and he satiates that by continuously entering new industries. Now, that might not be applicable for you and I, but it's something that we can actually look at. It's like, what are the other ways in which that we can satiate that need for novelty that we have? Maybe it's creating new styles of content. Maybe it's figuring out how we can create an element of novelty inside of our business, in our delivery. But he has designed it so that he scratches that itch that is innately there for that brain type. And then finally, principle 4, he avoids complexity like it is the plague. He's come out and said many times that if a pitch is too complex, then he will not invest. If something cannot be explained in plain English, then he doesn't trust it. And this is a principle that I too have started to approach over the past few years. If something feels complex, then I know that my brain has to expend so much more cognitive energy and attention than most other people. So I just stick to things that are stupidly simple so that I can save those cognitive tokens for something that I believe is more important. Now, as a bonus one, the overarching feeling that I left with this is that you do not need to be an admin genius in order to be successful. And that is obviously the part that so many people with this brain type struggle with, is the execution of these boring tasks inside of your business that are arguably still very important. And it is clear through the likes of Richard Branson and many other successful entrepreneurs that you do not need to be good at these things in order to make it in business. You just need to follow these principles, and you can then build around how your brain actually works, not how people tell you that it should. If you want to see more talk around how you can grow a business around your ADHD brain, then make sure you drop me a follow.